Hello, everyone. My name is Mo, and this is Mo's Way TV. So today we will be digging in on if being a teen mom at such a young age can go hand in hand with success. Now, I know the thumbnail might have taken you all back a bit, but this is where we are digging in to the ugliest, deepest parts of becoming a parent at so young and still fighting to succeed, despite everybody else thinking that you'll fail. So I want you guys to stay tuned, watch all the way to the end. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button because this is going to be some good stuff. Okay. And I want you all to like so that way I am able to share much more content like this with so many other individuals. So I love you all and let's dig in. I will see you guys inside. We're in the home stretch of the What is up, everybody? So I am back, Miss Mo. So we are going to get started with the first topic, which is mistake or no mistake. Now I know a lot of people may be like, usually it's a mistake, right? That you went out there and possibly lost your virginity and actually got pregnant, whether it's the first time or whether you did it a few times and you got pregnant. Now I'll be honest. I was seeking what I felt I thought was love, but all in all, it was lust at a young age and just really trying to find my way through my child past hurts, okay? And honestly, I wanted to have a child so early because I knew that a child's love, having a baby, I felt that would give me that unconditional love that I was seeking so hard. But in the midst, I see now with me being so much older from then that it has hurt my child in the long run because I didn't have the right father for them. And I'm not trying to play devil's advocate or God or anything, but I could have, allowed my life to sort of exceed me so I could have chosen a better father for my kids in a sense. That's something that I wish, that one wish that I wish I could have like had a redo on, but it's fine. So we are not going to talk about that at all. Because right now we can't live with regrets. I'm older now and the past is the past. All I can do is raise my babies to be smart, healthy, make sure that they know the Lord, and absolutely make sure that they don't make the same mistakes with the Lord's help. Amen. Okay, so, but digging in, a lot of teens actually have children at a young age for love, or they are trying to escape something from the home. Now, those are the two. Now, this is not scientifically proven, but these are my two that I feel happens and why kids go out there and they have kids early. So they're either chasing love or they're either trying to escape something in the home. Okay. So those are the two peers of it all. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of parents have felt like, okay, well, I think I've kind of figured that. But then there's some parents like, I never thought about that. So that's just food for thought. So I know when I did it, I was sort of I'm trying to ease out of the house, but at the same time, I felt like eventually love came along, but really it was like an escape. I was really trying to find an escape from my reality because with me growing up, I lived in a drug home. Like my house was the trap house that they talk about in the songs, where drugs and a lot of things were going on that shouldn't have. And that was my escape every day that I got to go and see this particular guy after school or before school or whatever the case is. And that was my way to escape my reality. But eventually, becoming pregnant, I thank God. I'm gonna get off topic for a second. I thank God for the survival circumstances that I was in because I think I would have went through an all through fail. But I just thank God for survival. Being able to make a meal out of nothing at all. You could have just some cans, rice, and one pack of meat, and I'm your girl. But it's just being able to have those survival skills, to have that resilience, to have that faith. Having my aunt introduce me to God and having faith even when things are getting rough. for me to be able to go through the foster care system and know that sometimes you'll go through painful circumstances, but you have to keep pushing through. For me to be able to go through so many hurts with my mother, from a young age till now, and still, press forward with love and not have hatred in my heart for anyone. So it taught me, I learned so much survival that I felt like, in a sense, I was ready when that time came, because before my baby even came, I was already trying to get emancipated and things of that nature. So I was on the ball. I was trying to get things done. I was trying to get my own stamps, learned about WIC. Was trying to get emancipated through the courts because of our living circumstances. But I'm still oldest of six, and that's where I felt the worst with leaving them. But then I also, I started working for my cousin and cleaning her house, and that's how I was getting my money in order to buy my baby's milk and things like that, when my mom would not give me the food stamp card for me to be able to use my share of me and my baby's stamp. So it's just, wanted to get a little bit into that, why, a lot of kids go out there and do this. But be mindful, a lot of kids don't have survival skills. A lot of kids actually grew up with a silver spoon, tap tap, they're not really learning anything about survival, not knowing how to cook, not knowing how to pay a bill, or knowing how to give people a call and check on statuses of things, not knowing how to go through an appointment and stuff like that. And to be honest, I think all of us who have become moms as a teen, we took it and we had to learn as we went. And that's just honest. We had to learn as we go, because going through those circumstances, you will never know what's to come. Things will just come out of the woodwork. They'll come out of the woodwork and you won't even know. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then all you can do, my best friend, Google. I would Google a lot of things. And then I read a lot of Chicken Soup for the Soul type of books. So I knew how to go through the street smart and book smart of things, with me being raised by my aunt, who is a registered nurse. She always kept us in the books. And then with my mom having street smarts, of course, I just thank God for me being able to have the two. So, even though me and my mom don't have the best relationship, I thank God for allowing for me to have that type of person in my life to learn so much as I did. But now we are going to the next topic. Now let's talk about how support systems can become an epic fail. Oh my gosh. So, support systems, with me, it was not easy. When I told my mom about me being pregnant, my mom had a cigarette on the side of her mouth and literally looked at the letter I wrote her, because I remember I wrote it in a letter, and I went and took it to her, and she had a cigarette on the side of her mouth, and literally she came in my room and she sat on the bed and she said, "You're a stupid bee. Now you about to be out here like the project girls, and got to get public housing and welfare and this, that, and the third." And I won't say it broke my spirit, but it had me puzzled a bit, because my mom was a teen mom. So I was just sort of trying to decipher the two. How were you any better than me? But that's neither here nor there. So now we will talk about how to complete education while preparing to be a mom as a teen. Now, I personally dropped out because things were getting a bit hectic, getting kicked out a lot by my mom. Me and my son were actually, he was 3 weeks old when we got kicked out in the cold. So I had to go to my mentor at my high school and let her know. I was in the 10th grade, and I had to let her know that I was unable to finish school at that current moment, and that that was it. That was my last day. They tried to send me to the counselor and everything, but counselors don't help in the schoolhouse. They just don't. The counselor was talking about going to defects and everything. I mean, my God, man, I had already gone through that, majority of my lifetime. You want me and my baby to go through that now? So I took the high road. So I went ahead and she helped me actually get my resume together so I can be able to get a job. I ended up with 2 jobs, working at the Sandnet Stadium and McDonald's down here in Savannah. And in the midst of having those 2 jobs, I was taking care of a man. So talk about stupidity. Oh, you're talking stupidity at its finest. I'm getting down and dirty with it. Oh my God. When you become a teen mom, I think you will be so stuck in, okay, I have to provide for my baby, but then at the same time, you're trying to be a family between you, the baby, and the guy who you think that you're in love with, but you're not. It's not love for real. It's not love for real. It's lust. It's definitely lust. At that age, at 15, 16 years old, I know the grandmas back in the day, they used to say, yeah, me and your grandfather, we've been together since baby, we don't know what it is yet. At 15, you don't know what it is. Okay? I don't care what nobody say. All right? So I was stuck trying to figure it out between my baby's father, myself, and still taking care of my son. My main priority was my son, but I still had that weight carried on me, that weight. I had weight carried on me. So over the course of time, y'all, it took years. I had got my first place at 16. My aunt co-signed for me. Oh, it was horrible. I stopped paying rent there because, not having any water. I'm so focused on getting diapers and handling the rent. I'm not even knowing, oh, we have to pay a water bill. I know about lights and rent, but shoot, in my mom's household, I didn't learn about bills. I mean, the most that we saw was, yeah, we have a place to stay, but our lights were getting cut off even in my mother's house. I mean, we had us uncle who we used to call Zay, and he used to cut them bad boys on. Hop right on up there. And used to cut them right on. But it's another story for another day. Now, I was not fully prepared for what was to come. Let's just say that. Because no water. I'm only paying rent and lights. And I am the only one working. So let's do a full rundown, you guys. So you got pregnant at 16, looking for love, looking for an escape. Then you have me trying to figure out a way to provide and house my son after being told that we would be good once he got here, right? My mother was a little bipolar, so this was the up and down of it all. Now you have me having to choose between education or finding a job. Because now, if you don't have a place to stay, you have no way of taking care of your child. So now you have to decipher, can I finish my education or do I need to hit the ground running? So I hit the ground running. That's what I chose to do. So then you have deciding whether it's going to be you and the baby or if it's going to be you, the baby, and the father. And with me being a fool back then, it was me, the baby, and the father. Now, I want people to understand, I want teens to understand, there is so much life ahead of you. Okay? I don't know who I am talking to. There is so much life ahead of you. You could be going through the worst of the worst circumstances in your household. Your mother could be using drugs. You could have drugs surrounding you. You could have a parent who's not paying attention. You could have a parent who works a lot. You can have a parent who's not really emotionally uh, understanding because of their upbringing. And I get it. You know, parents, we do the best that we can, but sometimes our good just ain't good enough. And that's even for me. Okay? I want people to understand that you do not have to become a mom at a young age to try to find that love that you are so heavily seeking. It's going to take you looking inside of yourself and loving you first in order to be able to love something else. Because let me tell you what happens when we go out and we try to find love and we end up with a baby. That baby suffers the most. Why that baby suffers the most? Because in all honesty, that baby is dealing with you not being able to fully give it the emotional capacity that he or she will need. You won't be able to understand how you need to be there through every single opportunity of schoolwork or parent and teacher meeting, or understanding that this child eventually is going to get older and you're going to have to learn how to discipline that child, or you're going to have to learn how to make sure this child has everything that it needs. And this is not saying, because it's not all, what I'm saying is it's not all about work. Because you could work so much that all you're doing is providing, but that child is still a human being, and it needs the providing portion, and it needs the emotional portion. It needs the mental portion of it all. It needs the hugs when they're sad. It needs you to understand instead of yelling at them and telling them to sit down and shut the F up and things of that nature. Because sometimes we weren't raised to fully, how can I say it? We weren't raised sometimes to conduct ourselves in a motherly way in heavenly and heavy circumstances of discipline. So if we weren't trained in discipline, so we weren't trained in discipline, we're going to do what we feel is discipline. And sometimes our form of discipline ain't discipline. I don't even know what to call it. But sometimes all it's going to do is cause that child to become resistant. And then it's also going to cause that child to become it's going to cause that child to become hell to be reckoned with. Let's say that. So I want people to understand you have to go through the motions as a child and then go into your teen motions. And then you have to understand that soon enough you'll become an adult, but then you'll become a tainted adult because you'll be dealing with your own baggage. And if you're dealing with your own baggage, then you're going to empty that baggage onto that child, and then that child is going to try to figure out what they can do with that baggage. And then that baggage is eventually going to become turmoil in your life that would eventually become strenuous to you and a possible death to them. So you don't want that. If anything, you know, and it's nothing against any of the mothers who have had children out there, because I am a teen mom myself, but I do understand that being a teen mom is not easy. I don't care how easy people may try to make it sound. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy job when you have to work 2 jobs just to be able to provide for a child. It's not an easy job when you're missing parent and teacher conferences. It's not an easy job when your child is unable to read because you're not able to give them the time that they need in order to learn. It's not an easy job when you're fighting to try to keep love, all while still trying to be a parent. So you're dealing with the emotional baggage of your own feelings and then still trying to maintain the feelings of your child. And then you're exposing them to fights or domestic disputes, or you being depressed or being sad. And all that does, because the child is going to feel what you feel, and you don't want them to be in the circumstances to feel like, is it me? I understand what they're going, but I'm wondering if I'm doing it to them. What could I do better as a child? We don't want to take our children through that. We don't want to take them through trying to figure out if they're the problem. So that's why I made this video tonight. You can be successful as a teen mom. You can finish school. Yes, I dropped out, but I still ended up finishing school at 17 years old before my class graduated. And that's by the grace of God. That's not persistence. I was walking to the library and I stumbled upon the GED program. All God sent. But think about all the people who didn't stumble across the GED program. Think about all the individuals who weren't able to have an aunt to co-sign on a place for them, or have a few people in their corner to lend a hand as far as money or finances when they needed it to pay a bill that they forgot about or were trying to prolong. Now be mindful, I wasn't perfect Patty. I had a weed problem on top of that. And I had a drinking problem. So I want you guys to really understand you can still succeed, true enough, because I went on to get 2 degrees and great jobs, but I carried a heavy weight on my shoulders. Resentment, turmoil, domestic abuse, not feeling like I was good enough, almost taking myself out, not giving my child 100%, and by continuously trying to have them for love, I'm seeking what I need, but I'm not understanding that they need to be cared for on a mental and a physical standpoint as well. So I want you to understand you can wait until you're older. It doesn't have to be right now. If you need love and support, I am going to make sure that my Instagram is in the description box below. I'm going to make sure that my email is down below. Send me letters, send emails, DMs, whatever you feel is necessary. I will answer back as much as I can. And I want you guys to understand that you can find that love in so many of the surrounding areas. I know a lot of people are like, man, I really don't want to talk to anybody about what I'm going through, or if I say something, you know, it could cause somebody to be in trouble. You could be in trouble if you don't say something. And what I mean by trouble if you don't say something is your heart will be in trouble, your mind will be in trouble, and your well-being will be in trouble, because you'll get yourself in something that you cannot bear. Only the strong survive as far as being a teen mom. And some have even given their children up because they are unable to take care of their children. So just understand the balance that comes with it. Some people are strong enough to go through the ups and downs. Some people aren't. And we haven't even gotten to the bottom of the barrel of homelessness and living in rooming houses and eating at soup kitchens. Yes, I've done it all. But I want you to understand that you don't have to go through that, because you have the opportunity to complete school. You have the opportunity to fight towards your future, regardless of what your living circumstances are. And I want you to take with you today, if you don't take anything else, please, 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 do not fall into the trap of what a young man is telling you for him to lay down with you, and then that child that child doesn't know how to be a father. That's the thing. He doesn't know how to be a father. He's still young. He's still a child, just as you are. And then women develop faster than men. So you have to understand that this child isn't ready to be a child's father. And it's not because they don't want to. They don't know how to. So because I don't know how to, I don't want to get involved. You understand? So, my beautiful babies, please, finish school. Take your time. There's so much life to live. You want to get that job, and you want to get your hair done, and you want to go on your shopping sprees, and you want to do a whole lot more. You do not want to take care of a child right now. Okay? I want you all to go and live your life. Don't go out there trying to find something that you have no knowledge of. Okay? So, I love you all. I thank you for watching this video. I hope it wasn't too long. And if you, please give me all the feedback that you need in the comments. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to my channel, so that way you can get more great content. Tell me how I did. Tell me if I need to be on cue, if I was a little off cue, if I was on beat, if I was a little off beat. You caught a little quote in there. You know, just let me know how I did, so I can continue to be better, and I can continue to bring great content to you guys and be able to love on you a whole lot more with every video. So I love you all, and peace and good night.
Yeah, life